For the first time, he sat and I gave him a narration. 7-8 pages, 40 minutes. He was.
And a man even at that level is willing to learn from me at 25.
Every party I've seen, he would come down 3 floors, would come to your car, would open the door for you, make you sit. I studied a lot from his notes, and they were very valuable notes.
He just works so hard till today. But I've never seen him with success gone to his head.
And Shah Rukh sir, being Shah Rukh sir, stood there with her for 5 minutes, spoke to her, उसका हाथ पकड़े खड़े रहे, बात करी.
He can do the same take 50 times and make it look like it's happening for the first time.
वो आदमी आपको दुनिया का सबसे महत्वपूर्ण आदमी बना देगा.
SRK came in with his kid.
शाहरुख सर ने मुझे बोला था, वेलकम टू द बिग लीग.
Your first guest was Shah Rukh Khan.
कैसे हुआ मुझे समझ नहीं आया. मैं उस इंटरव्यू के बारे में बिल्कुल नहीं सोचता है, क्योंकि मेरे को ऐसा लगता है ये हो गया बस मेरी लाइफ में, बस लिखा था वो होना. And it happened.
How was it?
Surreal.
Yeah.
मतलब उनके आने से पहले तक आई वॉज अंडर दिस इम्प्रेशन कि नहीं होगा शूट. मैं टीटू माँ बन के विग पहन के बैठा हूँ. 7 बजे का उन्होंने टाइम दिया था. He came at 11:30. 11:29 तक लग रहा था
नहीं होगा.
कि बहुत
Like they may ask me to leave कि नहीं होगा.
हाँ कि आज नहीं हो पाएगा,
कल आ जाओ,
देखते हैं करना है कि भी नहीं. और हम थे महबूब स्टूडियो में. हमने एक छोटी जगह रेंट करके, उसमें एक एरिया रेंट करके वहाँ पे पूरा सेटअप बनाया था. एंड वी वर वेटिंग एंड देन ही केम.
and then
It happened. The entire thing happened. He was so quick. मतलब for the first time he sat and I gave him a narration. He chuckled a little and he's like, let's go. And one take me, he finished everything.
wow.
Yeah. 7-8 pages, 40 minutes में he was.
And he had watched your videos before.
Yeah, he asked me, तू अभी भी वही बना रहा है ऊपर?
Orange.
हाँ, orange.
Like that.
मैं हाँ. अच्छा कहाँ रहता है? तो गोल चक्कर के पास रहता है क्या? आया हूँ मैंने. मैं आप गोल चक्कर क्यों आए? Yeah. Wow.
Was that one of the highlights?
Of course.
So far?
Yeah. मतलब अगर घर में कहीं इज्जत मिली है मुझे वो उस चीज़ के बाद मिली है. And I didn't tell them
Until it released.
the video released. क्योंकि हमेशा ऐसा होता है you talk about something a lot. तो फिर
नजर लगती है.
नहीं होती तो फिर आपको लगता है अरे यार मैंने बोलना ही नहीं चाहिए था.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell anyone कि I have shot
Hmm.
an episode like this with him. But then it happened. And when it happened, तो भाई साहब. And all those people who had rejected the script.
Script as in like other actors. So what happened then?
कुछ नहीं. Hey, let's do.
Now we can do.
We must do.
Shah Rukh, yeah. I wrote the Filmfare Awards. I got to go to Mannat.
Wow.
You know, at like
Oh my God.
at like 2 a.m. right? And I think I was all of 26 years old or something like that.
Wow.
And you know, these guys had written Filmfare for years, right? And they'd used the same writer, and then suddenly this kid was brought in because we had written Imran and Ranbir.
Yeah.
And so they were like, yeah, that was funny, bring him in on this. Then you go to Mannat, right? And I walked up to the gates of Mannat, and they were like, "Khan ji, kahan se aaye?" And I was like, "Main Veerdas se." So apparently, someone went and told Shah Rukh, "Sir, Veerdas se koi aaya hai." All right. So then you walk in, and it's the study, and you know, it's everything. And he's like, "Is your name Veerdas? Yeah, have you come from Veerdas? Which one are you?" I'm like, "Sir, I've come from Veerdas." And then I sat down and we were talking about jokes, and some joke was written, and I was like, "Sir, I don't think that's funny."
Oh.
You know, and to that man's credit, this is the king, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't get bigger. He was like, okay, young blood, you don't think that's funny? Bata. You know, come on. What do you think is funny?
Oh my God.
And then for the rest of the evening, he heard me out, man. And you know, not a lot of big stars at that level will do it.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of something they think is fun. Like, I learned from this generation telling me what is authentic and what is not. And a man even at that level is willing to learn from me at 25.
Wow.
You know, what is funny or what is not.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I think that's my big fan moment in Mumbai.
You've spoken about idols, right, in your life, who you grew up watching or you wanted to kind of be like in a certain way. The first is Manoj Bajpayee, and the second is Shah Rukh Khan. And the little incident with him that you spoke with us about, and otherwise, where he called you into his makeup van and he'd watched all of your work. You said that he made you feel special.
Yeah, and that's what he does, I think, to everyone.
Yeah.
That's his charm, yeah.
Are there any such qualities that you've seen in these idols who you've now worked with or who you now know that you try to imbibe in as a person, as an actor?
Yeah, of course. There's a lot to learn from, now of course that we're talking about Shah Rukh sir and Manoj sir, there's a lot to learn from both of them. The way he treats you, the way he gives you so much of respect. His whole attention is on you, towards you. He's listening to each and every word of that's coming off your mouth very carefully. He's present. And that's great. That's a great quality. Just to listen to someone, you know. And then the way he comes down at every party I've seen, he would come down 3 floors, would come to your car, would open the door for you, make you stand there and say bye to you till the time you're out of his vision, out of his sight. It's just so awesome, you know. There's so much to learn. He doesn't have to do that.
But he does.
Yeah, like we are just in awe that, you know, we are at Shah Rukh Khan's house and just talking to him. And chatting with him, having that moment with him. But for him to do all that, I think that's what makes him so special. And that's why we all love him. And that's why we're all so happy that Pathaan did so well.
Yeah, the whole world was
he deserves it. He deserves it. He deserves it and much more.
Shah Rukh was my senior in Jamia, but I did not actually know him as that. I met Shah Rukh more as Gauri's boyfriend.
Okay.
At that point in time, he was in Jamia. Was doing economics, and if I remember correctly, Shah Rukh was also doing economics. So, but then later when I decided to join Jamia, he gave me his notes because he was a brilliant student and I studied a lot from his notes. I mean, they were very valuable notes. So that's how I got to know Shah Rukh.
And in 1993, obviously, Bazigar happened and you were cast opposite Shah Rukh Khan.
He was really, he's like, you know, it's okay, we're living rough. But he was like, okay, you must do this and you must do that. And he was trying to give me tips on acting and I'm looking at him like, I'm listening. So, but yes, I did understand what he said like 5 years later. But at that point of time, I was listening.
You were just like nodding. Like, okay, tell me more.
You know, Shah Rukh is a very like there's lots of stuff that we've spoken about.
Yeah.
Like it's all about conversations and it's all about like we've talked about a lot of things. And the one thing that I always get from him is my favorite thing about him is the fact that he just works so hard till today and that he is just, I really have to respect that about him, that he's not lackadaisical or not taking it for granted. And, you know, like you said, that success has gone to their head and things like that. But I've never seen him with success gone to his head. I've always seen him on set in the same way. And yeah, if he's like a little quiet on sets, he has been very, very quiet on sets also. And not very talkative. But the ethic towards work has always been very, very strong work ethic. And I really, really admire that about him. Whether it, you know, takes him 16 hours or 17 hours to finish the shoot, he will sit patiently, never complain about, you know, how long you kept him waiting or, you know, walk off in a half or, you know, say anything like that.
Yeah.
So I find that I find that amazing about him.
Shah Rukh Khan had once said something that taught you an important lesson.
Yeah.
Which is, I work more than I'm paid for.
Yeah. You know, when you do any project, I think the producer or the director, you know, they obviously you charge for that work and there's always a give and take kind of understanding between both the parties. But here what he taught me that, okay, fine, whatever he is giving you, I think if you'll give more than return, I think the returns in future will be much more better.
Yeah.
As a human also.
Correct.
So I think I follow that now.
मैंने कहा, you're my girlfriend, मैं तुम्हें लेके जाऊँ, so I should confidently stand and say, Shah Rukh sir, this is my girlfriend Sanita. And he should say, oh yeah, and he should shake your hand. मैंने ऐसे थोड़ी भीड़ में मिलेंगे. तो कहती यार तुम ना फालतू तुम्हारा बड़ा रहता. मैंने कहा नहीं, it will happen. झलक दिखला जा पे. By that time Shah Rukh sir knew me. So मैंने Shah Rukh sir को ये बात बता रखी थी पहले. 1-2 awards में मिला. मैंने कहा सर, you remember ना? Yeah. मैंने सर आज वाइफ आई है. अच्छा लाया तू आज? मैंने सर आज, सर यू नो मी, आई एम रिकन्फर्मिंग. तो
You know me.
हाँ, मैंने कहा आप जानते हो ना मुझे, कि तो हंसने लगे, कहते हैं कहाँ है, तो मैंने कहा आइए। अच्छा, he stopped the shooting, so we were shooting and he said साहिल 2 मिनट की शूटिंग रोक यार, 2 मिनट। तो everybody said क्या हो गया? I said call her. Everybody is waiting. Sanयुक्ta walked in, she's shivering. मैंने कहा son please don't embarrass me यार। And Shahrukh sir, being Shahrukh sir, stood there with her for 5 minutes, spoke to her, उसका हाथ पकड़े खड़े रहे, बात करी, and मैंने कहा yes, आज आया मजा। मैंने कहा ये हुई ना बात।
Magic of that film was a lot of stuff that you see in the movie was not written.
Really?
It just happened. Nanna munna rahi hu. That's there in the script. And then he sees this woman and he goes down on his knees and opens his arms. Was not there. Shah Rukh actually did that in the shot and just was like, dude, what are you looking like? It's actually there. What are you looking like?
Really?
And that Farah's like, perfect cut. Let's light for this. Let's get all the lights closer and the fan and the everything, because this was not choreographed. So it just happened in the moment, and you know Shah Rukh is Shah Rukh. He can do the same take 50 times and make it look like it's happening for the first time. And the pallu flying over his face, him holding the pallu and walking, that was not planned. It was just stuff that was happening in the moment.
Wow.
So that was the brilliant introduction that was not planned, that happened the way it did.
एक और आइकॉनिक फिल्म थी रईस, जो शाहरुख खान के साथ थी, वो एक्सपीरियंस कैसे था?
मुझे वो फिल्म बस ऐसे ही मिल गई और उसमें कुछ था भी नहीं बड़ा। उस फिल्म को रीजन करने का रीजन सिर्फ खान साहब थे। पहला ही सीन सुबह 9-9:30 बजे के आसपास कॉल टाइम था, बैठे हैं रिहर्स कर रहे हैं, सडनली खान साहब वॉक्स इन, माहौल अलग हो गया उसके बाद। और मैं हाय सर, हेलो सर, बैठे, सब ठीक है, हाँ ओके, आई एम ट्रेन्ड फॉर दिस। और मैं उनको ऐसे नजर छुपा के देखे जा रहा हूँ। सडनली ओके रिहर्स करते हैं, डन, लाइनें होगी। पर जब एक्चुअल टेक की बारी आई, देन किंग खान बिकम द एक्टर किंग खान, एंड आई वाज जस्ट लुकिंग एट हिम लाइक, oh shit, I have seen this face like many times, millions of times, and now I have become the audience. मैं भूल गया कि मैं एक्टर हूँ। आई थिंक लाइफ में सिर्फ एक बार स्टार स्ट्रक हुआ हूँ मैं उस आदमी ने। मैं 10 सेकंड लेट चल रहा हूँ, सब है, फेस पे नहीं आ रहा है सब। और फिर खान साहब को लगा कि उनको पता है वो इतना बड़ा आदमी है, उनको पता चला। जब 5 मिनट का ब्रेक लो सब, मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ कहानी में अभी तक हुआ क्या है, तो तुम शायद बेटर रिलेट कर पाओगे। उनको भी पता है मुझे कहानी से कोई लेना देना नहीं, उनको पता है कि ये थोड़ा इसका सांस नॉर्मल करना पड़ेगा, तब जाके ठीक होगा। 5 मिनट का ब्रेक लिया सबने, वो 5 मिनट 15 मिनट में तब्दील हो गई, और वो बस बातें किए जा रहे थे। उस बातचीत से ये हो गया कि मैं अब मेरा वो देखना नॉर्मल हो गया। उसके बाद एक टेक में सीन हो गया, और फिर उन्होंने 3 दिन तक खिंचाई की मेरी इस बात कि जहां भी तेरी एक्टिंग खराब होगी ना, वो मेरा रिएक्शन शॉट डाल देंगे, टेंशन मत ले। अगले 3 दिन मैंने जितनी कॉफी पी है उनकी, और मैं जब इतना एक्सपीरियंस्ड आदमी आपके सामने हो ना, मेरी आदत है मैं फिर छोड़ता नहीं, मुझे सवाल पूछने, अगर उन्होंने मुझे वो कंफर्ट दे दिया तो। और खान साहब के साथ आई एम श्योर जितने लोग भी मिले होंगे, उनका सेम एक्सपीरियंस है कि वो आदमी आपको दुनिया का सबसे महत्वपूर्ण आदमी बना देगा जब तक आप उनके साथ हो। आप ऐसे ही बिछ जाओगे कि आप बस प्रभु आप ही हो। इतनी सारी किस्से कहानियां उनके साथ, उनकी लाइफ को लेके, और बहुत मुखर होके बात करते हैं वो। ऐसा नहीं कि मैं इतना बता दूं उतना नहीं, दिल खोल के बात करते हैं। तो वो 3 दिन जो 4 दिन शूट के थे, ब्रिलियंट एक्सपीरियंस है लाइफ का। आई विश कि कभी उनके साथ एक
फेट
एक लंबा काम करने को मिले पूरी फिल्म में, जहां बट ही इज एन एक्सपीरियंस।
I have this question. DDLJ is one of my favorite films. I think most people will resonate with that. The equation you share with Shah Rukh in that movie, is it somewhere you
Totally, it's
portrayed,
my father.
Yeah, because even he fails in the film,
Yeah,
and there's a
that-
celebration.
Yeah, yeah.
And saying that, you know, everybody failed and failure is an
It
event.
is directly taken from the chapter of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, it was there in a certain manner by Adi Chopra, but exactly the relationship that my father had with me.
शाहरुख सर हैं। अभी शाहरुख सर का एक ब्रीफ आया था कि एक उनकी जवान फिल्म में गाना था फराटा, तो उसमें उनका ब्रीफ आया कि देख भाई मैंने मुंह हिला दिया है और उस मुंह हिलाने के हिसाब से तूने रैप करना है। तो मैंने कहा ठीक है। तो बट he's always been so kind, मतलब उनकी टीम के लिए या कभी भी उनके लिए कुछ काम किया है, बहुत ही ज़्यादा प्यार देते हैं।
While we were shooting for Jesse, I remember we were in Film City and SRK had come there with his kids. He was shooting there, so he had come there with his kids and our set was next to his. And he got to know from his people that, you know, Jesse ki shooting chal rahi hai. SRK came in with his kids and he's like, Jesse, my kids watch you and they love you and they don't eat dinner without watching your show. I was like, yeah. I froze. I had forgotten my dialogues and my director was on some other trip. He's like, "Arey light जा रही है." I was like, just shut up. What are you saying? It's SRK in front of you.
शाहरुख सर ने मुझे बोला था वेलकम टू द बिग लीग।
Yeah. कब बोला था?
था एक इंस्टेंस हुआ था, मैं आई वाज रियली खत्म हो गया था मैं, मतलब मेरे को था यार क्या है ये बकवास। एंड पता नहीं उनका किसी अपने काम से फ़ोन आया तो मैं कहते क्या हुआ तेरे को, मैं कहा नहीं सर कुछ वैसे ही। फिर मैंने उनको बताया सर पागल है, जैसे इनकम टैक्स देते वैसे ये टैक्स देना पड़े।
Good words.
हाँ।